We've done this so many times over the past few years, and it doesn't make me any happier to have to do it again. And this particular wake is for Plumtree. And it's significant for a number of reasons. One, and most importantly, I think, because they are the last of, I guess, the Halifax bands from the olden days when all the hype was the Halifax is the new Seattle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So over the course of the next little bit of time, we're going to explore some of the earlier stuff that we did with Plumtree, and we also have the final interview with Carla and Lynette about what the band's going to be doing in the future. So I don't want to say it's a sad occasion, though, because that isn't the way the band feels. But in the true tradition of MuchEast, this is the Plumtree Wake. We can explain the flag right now because it is, as we're doing this, Canada Day.
It is Canada Day, so happy Canada Day to everybody. July 1st.
July 1st. So it's the first Canada Day of the millennium, and it also marks the first day where we're no longer talking about an entity called Plumtree because they're breaking up.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
Played the last show last night.
When did you make this decision? Because when I did the interview when the record came out with Amanda and Katrina, they didn't mention this at all.
We didn't say anything. It's probably been about a year that we've been talking about it, really. And we're just trying to decide exactly when. But I don't know, like the last tour we just went on, which was like 7 weeks, we didn't want to really mention it because then it becomes sort of the theme. You know, like every time you play, it's like, it just keeps coming up, and we didn't want that to be what the tour was about, so.
Or that's what would get written about.
Yeah.
Press-wise.
Yeah.
So,
I'm following you. I'm not necessarily agreeing, but I'm following you.
Right. We tend to do things probably the wrong way, but you know, I guess it could have been, you know, a great publicity thing, but it could have been. But we didn't want to end it in a sad way at all. No one knew exactly what they were doing. It wasn't until during the tour that everyone found out they got accepted to the fashion school and Japan, teaching English in Japan, and Amanda's doing her master's at York in Toronto. So we just recently found some of those things out. Either way, it probably would have happened similarly.
In Halifax, anyway, I mean, it says one thing that you guys are practically like the longest running band in the city at this point. Pretty much. Everybody else is, well, except for Sloan, everybody else is pretty much gone. Everybody else broke up. Yeah. Did you ever think that you were going to wind up in that position?
I think when we started, we didn't know how long it would last at all. Lynette and I were in other bands that we thought were the main priority.
We never played one show.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like...
Exactly. So things took an unexpected turn because Plumtree started playing shows right off the bat. So that just really put us in the public right away. So we'd get a lot of feedback, and we just kept going and going and going.
Come on, let's get on with that. Come on, let's get ourselves a break. White belt on lightning day.
Was the idea of taking the band further and trying to make this some sort of career ever really an option for you guys?
Casually talked about things like that, but we never made it a plan, or it's like, you know, in 1 year from now, if we're not at this point, then we'll call it quits, but we'll, you know, do it really strong for a year. It was never really like that. It just kind of worked around our schedules, going to school a little bit, working, and, you know, moving out of our houses. We started when we were so young that there's just so much of, you know, life experience-wise, you just kind of do as you get older, and I think we just hit that time and 24. Everyone's like 22 to 24, so it's like,
And it
okay,
hasn't 14 to 16.
New. Yeah, 14 to 16. So
So go through it again, what everybody is actually doing. You're going to New York, yes?
Yeah. I'm going to fashion school in New York.
Fashion school in New York.
Yeah. And Katrina's going to Japan to teach English. She's going to be a teacher for a year anyway. And Amanda's going to York to do her master's in British history. And then Carla's going to keep writing and stay in Halifax for a while. And hopefully I'll play with her and all that sort of thing.
So you're the only remaining member in Halifax. Is there something wrong with you, or?
I know. It seems like if I'm supposed to move out and go live in another city, this is the time. Even my roommate is leaving. It's like I don't even have a roommate. All signs say, leave, go do something else. But I really love Halifax.
Yeah.
And I find it a really creative place to be, and I think the standard of songwriting is really high. And going across Canada, I really get a sense that Halifax has its own thing going in the sense of the music community, and a really supportive one. And in a lot of cities, that just doesn't happen. There's like, scattered music scenes, I suppose. But this is, this one, there's such a strong music community. I feel really safe and comfortable here. And it's a good place for me to try to be creative. If I went and moved to Toronto, I'd just be scared to death, and I'd just be worried all the time. I wouldn't be able to write music. I'd just, freaking out.
Carla's a little paranoid.
Like, oh, I'm going to get killed.
Move to Toronto.
Well, never mind what your father would think.
My mom, my dad would be
Our mom would be going nuts.
worried, and
However, I'm sure, living in New York is not exactly...
Well, that's what I was going to say. My mom keeps talking about coming, and then I'm like, I don't know if my mom's going to be more scared if she comes or she doesn't come. Like, if she sees the city or she doesn't see the city.
she just imagines what the city's like.
Yeah, our mom's very emotional.
Come on, let's get on the bed. Come on, let's get ourselves a break. Why draw on like this? Come on, let's get on the bed.
Amanda's mom made a little guitar. It's like pewter.
Made that?
No, sure, she didn't make it. She got it made.
She's very crafty.
She is really crafty, though. She's crafty.
And on the back, a little engraved.
1993 to 2000.
Yeah.
Was there any sort of residual sadness after the gig last night? Or were you guys pretty much sorted out and it was just a completely exhilarating evening?
Well, it's weird. After we got off the tour, the momentum was just so high, and we were, really tight and together, and people knew about our last show at the Marquee, and everyone was asking, oh, you must feel so sad about this, but it really didn't feel real, because it seems like information that'll take a while to sink in.
Yeah, totally.
And we've been playing consistently, practicing twice a week for 7 years.
Yeah. Like
Consistently.
Very consistent.
So I think even physically, that'll take a while to sink in for my body to realize, hey.
It's always that way for me, like, especially playing a show like last night, it was a real celebration, and it was so much fun, but it was sort of a celebration that it was sort of the last show. But at the same time, it was so much fun that I'm like, I want to play again, but you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of strange. It's strange to think about. It hasn't really hit me yet. It'll be like
it'll be a while
when we haven't
suddenly not
practiced for a while.
playing,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm probably speaking for everybody when I say that I think on some level we're all sad to see you guys finally decide that that's it. But on the other hand, congratulations on that part of your lives, and I'm sure that much better things will happen to you in the future.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank, like last night we got to kind of thank the Halifax music community for the support, but this is a really great chance to thank everyone across Canada
Yeah,
for coming out to shows and like checking out the website, finding out all the tour dates, going to 4 or 5 of the shows. That's fantastic, and it makes us feel really good. I just want to thank everyone so much because we had a fabulous time.
Yeah.
Great friends, great experiences.